The mainland is home to one of the ever more infamous railways known as the Roseworth, with engines big and small, unique in all, working hard to serve the people and businesses who depend on us. There are stations to bring passengers to where they need to be. There are also harbours, fishing villages and coastal points, bringing fish and containers for business and stores with a lot of items. There is a quarry delivering slate and stones to building supplies for construction workers and ships. There are also forests delivering logs from the earth. But the one thing that stands out from all the other trains out on the main line is us steam engines and diesel engines working together. Railway Etiquette Part 1. It had been about 2 weeks since the new engines had arrived. Claudette and the premier worksmen were overseeing the final touches to the new addition on our railway. Once they were fully restored, Princess Louise started pulling the Fairview Flyer from the big station to Lion Beach, while the black tank engine, who dubbed himself as Ivert, was the dockside steam engine for Lower Fairview Harbour. Sometimes he takes trains from the harbour to Fairview shunting yards to save City of London time, instead of going all the way back to the docks. One particular evening, Ivert was at the start of a storm. Due to the track being slippery down the hill, both Ivert and his driver agreed to stay at Fairview and head down to the docks early the next morning. While most of us engines were out doing our jobs, Croven, Claudette, Luke, Princess Louise, McIntosh and Cook of the North were at the sheds.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Ivert.
I'm gonna guess that it's too dangerous for you to go down the hill to the harbor.
Yep, but I get to spend the night with you guys.
That's awesome.
Wow, the rain's coming down a little bit harder than usual. Why don't we tell a story?
We'll be glad Scotsman isn't here to tell us a story.
What's wrong when Flying Scotsman tells a story?
Now here is a story about how I was built.
Yikes! Why don't you tell us one, McIntosh? What, me? No, I'm no good for telling stories.
Come on, please.
Alright, fine.
And this was the story. The year 1929, before the town of Fairview had laid any tracks, the railway never ran any standard gauge engines. Instead, they used narrow gauge trains to haul the logs from the tree to the coal in the mines. There were 2 engines that lived there. One was named Evelyn and the other Carter. Evelyn carried logs while Carter did the hauling from the mines. Now Carter was known to be a reckless engine, always damaging cars either by bumping them too hard or pushing them off the transfer tracks. This would usually get on Evelyn's nerves, and she would always reply back saying,
"Stop that reckless driving, this is a place of calm and peace."
All I want to do is get the job done quicker so I can get back to the sheds.
As I said, this always got on Evelyn's nerves. Back before Red Code was built, the main terminus station was Curlan, where the narrow gauge met up with the standard gauge engines. McIntosh back then was known as Carbrooks, and when he saw Evelyn mumbling to herself, he knew there was a problem between the engines.
Hey, what'd be the problem, Evelyn?
Ikeita, he always being so reckless. I wish there was a way to get through him.
Tell him a story about your brother. You know that's how you got Scotsman back to line.
Good thinking, Carbrooks.
That evening, Evelyn told him the
A
story.
long time ago, the Roseworth Railway had 2 graters, one named James and the other was me. My brother was just like you, but worse.
How worse?
Ever wonder why we don't pull coaches? James was reckless and drove 16 coaches, all full of passengers. 30 people died while 50 had severe injuries. After that, the manager had sent James to back of the sheds, where he stayed. Most of his parts were used to repair me and maybe built you.
Carter to his cooling system. After that, Carter behaved better than he was before. When the 1930s hit, there was a problem. The railway was running downhill so much they had to sell amongst everything to the LNAR and LMS standard gauge railway.
So what happened to the little engines? Ah, that's a story for another time. The storm's clearing up.
Come on, tell us the rest.
Yeah.
I wish I could, lads, but I gotta head over to Vicarstown to collect the goods train bound from here from the island to Sodor.
That, my friends, is to be continued. Well, he got one thing right. Ivor is quiet. But please explain to me, why on earth did Brandon keep saying, keep a watchful eye on him?
Be quite honest with you, Scotsman. That old coot has a conspiracy about everyone and everything. All he said was that he had a record for something.
Typical. I'm seeing Shane at Red Cove for the 9 o'clock passenger train. I can ask him to send a message to him.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Scotsman.
Oh, hey. Good morning, you two.
Morning, McIntosh.
Morning, McIntosh.
You two aren't spying on Ivat again, are you?
What do you think?
Anyways, Orville, your train is ready for you at Fairview Shunting Yards. Get going if you want to make it on time.
Thank you, McIntosh.
Scotsman, the new and the wee engines already know.
You don't mean...
Hi, I do.
You and me both swore not to speak of that story.
Oh, I know.
When they start bugging you, don't bring me into this.
Some support you are.
I don't care.